You want to make more money from your ads, and I want to help you. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the number one reason why your ads probably suck and how to fix it. This is where I spend the most time with my clients. I've worked with over 500 online coaches by now, helping them run ads, book calls, make sales, and build a business that they love. And I've sold over 3.5 million of online coaching myself personally. And so this is the number one thing that I see most people miss. It's not sexy, it's boring, it kind of sucks, and it's kind of difficult. But once you crack this, I promise you, it's the difference between a 2x, 3, 4, 5x ROAS and like an 8 to a 10x return on your ad spend. And so this is exactly how Adrian, one of my clients, who's a fitness coach, has booked 93 calls so far this month, 6 days into the month, spending $12K a month on ads, and it's costing him $250 to get a client, and $19 to get a booked call, which is insane. And so this was literally a week ago. Plan is to hire, and then hire some more, eventually 10x the ad spend. And then yesterday on the 12th, today's the 13th, as I'm recording this is a win. I have 4 sales reps taking calls right now. Literally 3 weeks ago, it was just me. That's how what I'm going to share with you is the difference. This is how he did it. This is how I did it. This is how I've helped so many other people see explosive growth in their coaching business as well. So let's cut the shit and get right to it. So most coaches, they run ads, they try to book a call, and they try to sign clients, right? Simple. Top, middle, bottom of funnel. Right here, we have the funnel diagram. I'll zoom in a little bit for you. So up here, top of funnel, traffic, leads, and sales. So this is how we get new people to know about us, right? And then once we have new people to know about us, most people try to just go straight into conversation and booking the call. But the problem with this is they skip from the top of the funnel all the way down to the bottom of the funnel, but they miss the whole middle of the funnel. And the middle of the funnel is the most important asset, right? Like, I position my offer as like I help coaches scale with ads and setters, right? Very simple. Because most people think they need more leads or better quality leads, which most people do, right? However, a lot of times clients come in, their ads are actually bringing in good leads, but they're not profitable and their ads suck because they're disregarding this whole thing. They're disregarding this whole key. So what is it that the most profitable coaches do? Let me share with you. They run ads, right? So same thing as most. Well, most coaches don't, just the smart ones. I should rename this to smart coaches. There we go. So the most profitable ones, they run ads, but they inserted step 2 here. Hammer with middle of funnel. This is where you warm them up, you nurture them, you shift their beliefs, right? And so the best way to do this is with very intentionally crafted and created content that positions you as a blue ocean offer in a sea of red ocean, like a bloody red ocean sea of just so many different competitors, and everyone's kind of doing the same thing, and your prospects view you as the same as everybody else. And that's a horrible place to be in. It sucks. And so what you want to do is you have to build a middle of funnel ecosystem, right? With retargeting ads, video sales letter, and content that shifts beliefs, which are basically the key to this is making content in a way where it's like basically mini VSLs disguised as like valuable piece of content. And so there's a very important framework to nail when you do this, so it doesn't come across as like super salesy. So you have to be careful with that. You don't want to just like try to just like sell and shove stuff down their throats. You want to actually build a relationship and build value. And so the reason why most people's ads aren't scalable or profitable is because they go from the top of funnel from their ads straight down to the bottom. And so a few years ago, I used to work for one of my previous mentors, and I joined his team when he was doing like 40K a month. And at the time I was like, that's insane. I was doing like 8K a month in my agency. And I was like, that's nuts. So I became his client success manager and his sales rep. And I was like, dude, like I have an ad agency. Why don't I just run your ads for free for you? And like, let's book more calls for us. Right. And so he's like, sure. And so I started blasting ads, and we actually ended up doing like $100,000 in a week. And we scaled from 40K a month to like 220K a month in like 6-7 months, which was like 4 young dudes in our 20s. And it was sick. However, the problem is like that $100,000 week that we did, cash, by the way, we were going straight from the top of the funnel down to the middle of the funnel, or through the middle. Like we were just sidestepping the middle and going straight to the bottom. So add to conversation in the DMs, straight to call like the same day or like the next day. And that is like, yes, it worked, but I cut my sales calls from 60 minutes down to 30 minutes. So I could take 2 an hour. And we also had another closer on as well. So we're taking 4 calls an hour. And I was taking like 14 hours of calls, just back to back to back, like 7 days straight. And it was a ton of fun, but not sustainable. But my closing rate went from like 40% down to like 10%, like 5 to 10%. It was horrible because they didn't know us, they didn't like us, and they didn't trust us because we had skipped this. We were going straight for the kill, straight for the throat to try to just get people to sign up, right? And then, like, sure, it can work to a degree, but it's not sustainable. The amount of leads that we burned, the amount of like goodwill that we destroyed is not a fun place to be in, right? Plus it's like you're hustling, you're grinding. And if you're anything like me, like you probably value peace and profit. And so like the cost for the calls and the cost for clients is going to be, going to be significantly higher if you go straight for the throat, right? And as we can see with Adrian, it's like his cost per call is $19, right? And then CPA is $250. And so I believe 19, that's probably like a triage call. And then cost per acquisition to acquire clients, $250. And he sells a multiple $1,000, like I think it's like $3,000 to $4,000 for fitness coaching. So that's insane, right? Like the return on that is disgusting. And so what happens here is like, that's how you get very, very high return on ad spend because he's got a wicked middle of funnel. His content is phenomenal. His video sales letter absolutely crushes. We spent a lot of time dialing that in. His retargeting ads are out of this world. He is absolutely everywhere all of the time in front of his people. And especially when people like come into his world, this is how he speeds up his buying cycle. So most times, like what you see is when somebody comes in and it's like, well, we'll draw like this and it's like a complete stranger. So we're just going to draw like new eyeballs to dollar signs. Like usually this takes like at least like 1 to 3 months to get people to warm up to you, to know you, like you, trust you, right? Like 30, 60, 90 days. Now, when you dial in the middle funnel and you have really good content, VSLs and retargeting ads, you can shrink this way down to like 7 to 30 days. And so now what you're doing is you're shrinking the time it takes to acquire a client. And then you book more calls, increase your booking rate, increase your closing rate, and everything's happy. So that's it for this video. Apply that into your business, focus on middle funnel, start making a lot more money. Bye.